Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, we're back. I don't know where that music came from, but I can turn it down just like that, or I can pause it just like that. How are you all doing out there? What a disastrous start to the stream, right? I hope this isn't a sign of things to come, folks. I really do. But listen, it's Wednesday, and that means one thing on KBS in recent times. And that is that our good friend Jimmy Jeans will be in the hot seat from 10 p.m. in the UK. So an hour and a half from now, you can hear me and Jimmy over on TFR Live on the Kev Baker Show, main show on the home of KBS, TFRlive.com. And today, just as promised, thanks to a recommendation from one of you out there, we're going to dip our toe into the Russian X-Files. Yes, indeed. And talk about a weird world of synchronicity, right? I'm sitting about an hour before I'm thinking about doing the stream. And I get a message from a good friend. You've heard me talking about Nancy before. It says, Kev, you have to make your way to Clubhouse right now because guess who's going to be on? And for anyone who doesn't know, Clubhouse is an app on the iPhone. I think it's coming to Android soon. But it's basically like people go in there, you can talk about anything, there's a lot of Bitcoin chat, something about everything, okay? But today, Nancy was alerting me to the fact that it was going to be a guest all the way live from Russia. Yes, indeed. The synchronicities, I'm telling you. And talk about a Russian X-File. Edward Snowden was on the Clubhouse. So that was fun listening to that. I had to break away from that because I wanted to come and spend some time with all of you people. And I found an article where we can go over like maybe 10 Russian X-Files. And maybe from that, we can pick a couple out where we can do a deeper dive either after today's show. No, cancel that. Watching the wrestling with my boy. Maybe tomorrow before the show that is going to blow your mind. Because tomorrow, don't forget, we have got Evan and Stephen Strong back on the show tomorrow. So please, please, please join us for that one. But before we go anywhere, if you're new about here, you have to wait. You have to wait because I need to go into the chat room. I want to see who's hanging about in there. We've got Marty, Zach. Hey, I like it, man. I'm not sure if I recognize your name. Always like to see new people turning up. We've got Ben. How you doing, Ben? Ben Emlyn Jones in the chat room. Are you kidding me on, folks? Wow, pressure on. Check out Ben. You have to check out Ben. He's one of our regular guests. You don't become a regular on KBS if you don't deliver time and time again. And if you're looking for Woo, I've always said Ben for me is one of the best sources in the UK. Not just for British X-Files, but for everything. We have also got 108 Malaya. Polynation's kicking about. Jose. India Kane. Oh, I like that name as well. Nice one. We've got Bernays. Jose Ramon Francis. Always like that one. We've got the Wookiee. First in today was our good friend ZX, and boy, oh boy, ZX is he likes his retro gaming, and there's a game that used to be out called Elite. It's still out just now. I need to get it installed again and get playing it. But I was looking at this guy's setup today, and he had like a corner of a room that had been. He'd basically built himself a cockpit for his spaceship. Yep, he had like screens going down the side. He had a big screen on the wall, one going over his head. And what I thought was really, really cool about the one over his head, he may well be an avid, very, very avid gamer, but he still had his like Sky Sports and the football on a monitor above his head. Perfect, right? But listen, he might have been coming from Russia. I don't know. It sounded like it could have been Russian or German that he was listening to. Who knows? But listen, we're going to dive right into some Russian X-Files. And there's actually more here than what I thought. Some of them I recognize, some of them I don't. Some of them I'm sure you will have heard of before. But again, similarly, some of them I think might be new to you. So we'll go over here, we'll take a little look, we'll see what's going on. Found this article. Your complete guide to UFOs, mysterious passings, and space-time anomalies in Russia. I think that's pretty much the remit that you as the crowd gave me yesterday to come back here today with, right? Pretty sure of it. Maybe. We'll go for it. Okay then, so Alyoshenko, or Alyoshenka, the Kaishtum dwarf. Now, if you're wondering why I can pronounce Russian words a whole lot better than I can read English, well, that kind of ties into the full conspiracy that I might just be from the Kremlin. Shh, don't tell anyone. So it says here, a mystical creature, and if it looked anything like this, it's more than mystical. But a mystical creature considered a humanoid. Now, is this the same as one of Jimmy's biological robotoids? I'll have to ask him. Was found in the woods near a small Ural region city of Kaishtum, and that's over 1,500 kilometers east of Moscow, in the summer of 1996. So we're not going back too far for this one. It was first discovered by a woman who was later treated for schizophrenia. She adopted the creature as her son and even named it after her own son, Alyoshenko, or Alyoshenka, short for Alexei. So it says, fellow residents were bewildered and confused about the humanoid's origin. Did it come from space? Was it an alien or just a terribly deformed human being? Well, these questions haunted the city of Kaishtum and later the whole world. Do any of you remember this? Anyone in the chat room remember this story? I'll pull up the chat. Where did you go? Where did you go? Well, let's see what the chatters are saying. I wonder if anyone's heard of this one. Oh, now look, here's Ben hitting us. Ben's hitting us with some deep Russian woo. Under the waters of Lake Baikal in 1982, divers were exploring the world's deepest freshwater lake on a research mission. But strange humanoid creatures appear, and in an attempt to capture one of them... Oh, come on, Ben. Come on, Ben. Come on. Right, I'll get back to this just now, but that sounds like something we need to get into. This one here doesn't ring a bell to me. Yet, when the adopted mother of the Kaishtum dwarf was hospitalized in a mental institution, Alyoshenka passed, and then the body changed multiple hands before vanishing off the radar completely. To this day, nobody knows if Alyoshenka was indeed an alien or where the body has disappeared to. Well, I think number one, we've already got something that we can dig deeper into here. Now, let's think about this from 360 degrees, okay? We'll look at all angles. Absolutely, what we're being told here could be very true. We could be looking at some kind of humanoid, some alien. We don't even know the circumstances in which it was found. Maybe in a crash site, we don't know. And on the flip side of that, it could just as feasibly be, in fact, more feasibly be, it's more logical to assume that it could be some kind of deformed human. And I say it's more logical because you would find more examples of deformed humans than you would of little humanoids. Does it mean it's a little human, though? No. And the fact that the person who found it was certified for having schizophrenia, that doesn't really tell me anything at all. Because That would be a really good way to shut somebody up and shut them down and get rid of them in a country like Russia where you would never hear their story. And on the flip side of that, we have to consider that maybe this woman had something wrong with her. So I think we might have to dig further into the Kaistum dwarf story. But I think that's a good opener, right? So the Tunguska explosion. Now then, I've got this is a really interesting one. And there's part of me that likes the theory. I like the idea. And I'm sure myself and it might have been Ben, or it might have been the Freaky Friday I done with Scott and Nacy, where we were talking about Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla always had a big fear that his work would be taken and weaponized, and in the end of the day, he ended up just giving out allegedly, the blueprints to a death ray. I think he basically gave them to everyone. The idea being mutually assured destruction. If everyone had one of these things, it would put other people off using it. I get the idea, but it's always been a notion in my mind, and I've always heard people throwing it out there that perhaps something like Tunguska could have been a proof of concept. It might actually have been some kind of test. But I don't know. I really don't know. It's definitely an interesting one. But it says on June the 30th, 1908, an unknown object exploded in a desolate forest in Siberia. Now, if nobody was there to hear it, did it make a noise? The damage caused was so powerful as the damage of a hydrogen bomb would have been. The forest mass surrounding the epicenter of the explosion was annihilated, and magnetic storms raged throughout the entire northern hemisphere as a result. Magnetic storms as the result of what went on in Tunguska? So the object or debris that has caused the explosion was never discovered, or at least we were told it was never discovered, ladies and gentlemen. And I wouldn't imagine there'd have been too many people out in remote Siberia to contest what the official story is, right? So it says here, despite numerous research expeditions to the area, multiple theories about the cause of the explosion appeared throughout the years. Yep, here it comes, varying from the second coming of Christ, which I probably wouldn't have put money on, to Nikola Tesla doing an experiment and it went wrong. Did it go wrong? Or was it meant to be like that? I would contest it probably was a successful test of a weapon if it was, okay? If it was. You know, when we're doing the X-Files, folks, the truth is out there. Or is it? Or is it? So some believe the massive explosion was caused by an ice comet that melted upon impact. Yet, in the absence of any conclusive evidence, the Tunguska explosion remains an unsolved mystery to this day. So we'll do one more, and I'm going to go and have a nice little cup of tea and leave you simmering for the next ones. Made it sound like I was cooking you there. I'm not cooking anyone. It's okay. The M zone. The M. M for Mike. Any of you, is it ringing a bell? Isn't for me. Akin to the Bermuda Triangle. Oh boy. Here we go.
Excuse me, it's man.
Behave. I said boy. Deal with it. Akin to the Bermuda Triangle, the M zone located in the Russian wilderness is a subject of interest to ufologists all over the world. Apart from me, it would seem, because I've never heard of it. The mysterious site is located in a dense forest in the Perm region. Now, visitors to the M zone, also known as the Perm Anomalous Zone, PAZ, wonder if I can get that in Scrabble, that'd be a good way of getting rid of a Z, often report hallucinations, unusually elated or suppressed physical and mental state, as well as alleged sightings of UFOs and mysterious lights. Now, malfunctions of compass and electronics have also been reported. And despite regular research missions to the site, its mystery has remained unsolved. Now, when it comes to the Bermuda Triangle, this whole unusually elated or suppressed physical and mental state? Is that something that we recognize? Is it? Polly, what am I smoking these days? Fresh air, brother. Look at my eyes. Look at them. Pure white. Tell you, make the most of it, folks. Make the most of it. Doesn't happen often. But listen, on that note, before we dive into the Dyatlov Pass, which is definitely one of everyone's favourites, and of course they claim they solved that recently, we're going to take a little 2-minute, just a 2-minute interlude so I can get a nice little drink of tea, wet the whistle, and get ready to dive right back into your Russian X-Files, folks. Oh boy. Getting good, right? You see. Oh, hang on. You see, you thought I was going to leave you waiting for ages, didn't you? No. Here we go. Dyatlov Pass. What's happening in the Dyatlov Pass? Now, before we get into this, there's a lot of theories I've got about this. In fact, not even theories, just ideas. I honestly think that this area, the Dyatlov Pass, is somewhere that Russian special forces, Spetsnaz, I think they operate in the area. I think that's got a lot to do with what happened. And what happened, for anyone who doesn't know, boy oh boy, talk about an anomaly. This is one of the weirdest stories ever. Now, me and Ben have definitely covered this one, maybe multiple times. But it says here, one night in February 1959, I remember it like it was not yesterday. A group of 9 hikers passed in the northern Ural Mountains in the most uncertain circumstances. And folks, just because I said I think it's Spetsnaz, don't be reading too much into that. Don't be thinking, has Kev really got Kremlin connections and this could be him slipping out some truth and we just think it's dumb old Kev in his corner of his room in Glasgow. For all you know, folks, I could be like Edward Snowden. Could be living in a hut in Siberia. A Russian propagandist, no less. Pravda. So the official investigation included, or concluded, should I say. See, I can't read English. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to have a word with Donnie. Donnie might know what language I can speak. We're going to have to do a show on my past lives, ladies and gentlemen, that I have no idea about. I've got inklings of one of them. I'm going to get Donnie on the show and we're going to talk more because me and Donnie have got a past. Remember I said to you there was something really freaky, something really unnerving about the familiarity with Donnie? Well, now I know why, but we'll get into that on a later date. See, I hook you in for more. You see, I'm getting better at this, maybe. The official investigation concluded that the cause of death was an unknown compelling force which the hikers were unable to overcome. Apparently, something drove the hikers away from their tents in the middle of the night, as their naked bodies were later discovered at walking distance from their camp. Now, talking about base camps and mountains and stuff like that, totally random thought for you all here, but I watched something terribly fascinating today. The reason I watched it is bizarre. I think I've told you people before, I get a real kind of measurable fear when I watch people doing mountain climbing and hanging off rock faces by 2 fingers and all that crazy stuff these adrenaline junkies get up to, right? Well, I noticed on Netflix there was a movie documentary called Sherpa. Well, wow. If any of yous are into that whole rock climbing, mountaineering scene, and maybe just to gain a deeper appreciation of what Sherpas get up to and who these people are, watch that, folks. And I tell you, it gives you an idea of just how perilous it can be on one of these mountainsides. So, with that said, I totally digressed and kind of got taken off the story. However, blow this up a bit here. It says multiple investigations by professionals and amateurs have never produced any conclusive results. That's why the Dyatlov Pass incident has captivated the imagination of mystery junkies all over the world. That's us, folks. That is us. We are mystery junkies. I quite like being addicted to mysteries. It's harmless. It never harmed anyone. It doesn't really abuse your body too much. Sometimes grows new neural pathways, which is always a good thing. I encourage it. Become addicted to mysteries, folks. I'm telling you. UFOs, Bigfoot, spy games, secret military tests, and black magic have all been named as possible explanations of the mysterious tragedy. What if it was all of them? What if you could have UFOs, Bigfoot, spy game, secret military tests, and black magic all rolled into one? You know why I say that? Because that's the kind of thing John Keel was coming across when he was looking into the Mothman. However, that being said, it goes on to say, however, nobody knows for certain what happened to the 9 experienced hikers, and that's quite important as well, that they were experienced. These aren't people that would have been scared easily by maybe the cracking of snow, you know, as it resettles after the daylight when the sun goes down and the temperatures drop and everything's freezing again, and weird and wonderful and wacky noises. And if you're not used to that, that could put the fear of goodness into you. Maybe it would cause you to run out your tent bollock naked in the middle of the night. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm hoping the algorithm at Google doesn't have no idea what a Scottish sounding bollock is all about. But anyway, we go back to this because now we're about to get into the Russian Bigfoot. What does the Russian Bigfoot need? Big shoeski. Big shoeskis. Yes, indeed. Stories about a huge hulking monster who lives. In fact, we're not going to go here yet. In fact, I'm going to be totally crap at this. I'm going to come into the chat room now. Release the crackling. Exactly, Jimmy. Exactly. So I want to know what you people in chat, what do you say about the Dyatlov Pass? What do you think it was, folks? Nothing to see here? Move along? UFOs? Bigfoot? Black magic? Something we've got no idea about? Is it like some kind of Bermudan Triangle? Only the Ural Triangle? What do you think, folks? I'm coming into the chat room. I want to see what people are saying. So, could be a Chechuna. I'm going to have to Google what that is. I'm showing how thick I am. What is a Chechuna? Oh, it's like a Yeti. Wow. The Russian, the Chechuna. Well, I never. What? All right. My son was cracking a joke there. I said a Yeti. And Celtic have got a football player called a Yeti. So he said, what, Albion? Because that's his first name. Listen, folks, it's a football joke. It's a football joke. My son distracted me. He's allowed. He is allowed. Yeah, the Russian Bigfoot, the Chechuna. Ben's probably sitting out there listening right now. God, I told this guy that years ago. I've heard so much, I've forgotten more than I've remembered. I'm sorry, troops. I'm sorry. It's like almost having dementia. I can maybe go back to doing shows that I've done things on maybe 5, 6 years ago. It's going to be totally fresh to me. It's going to be like we've never done it before. It's going to be awesome, right? And I just hope all of you forget that we've done it before as well. But no. So what else have we got in here? It's the Green Triangle. Aye, Jimmy, that's where we would be if I was over with you, my man. We would be living in the Green Triangle and we would be doing some guerrilla growing, my friend. Guerrilla growing. No, I'm not talking about growing literal gorillas, folks, but Jimmy knows what I mean. And Salt Montez, great name. 12-pack. Are we getting new people in here? What's happening? Welcome to all you new people. If you haven't met me before, I am the craziest, the weirdest, the wackiest of 2 Scotsmen you'll ever meet. 2 Scotsmen, you say? Yes, Kev and Dave. Deal with it, ladies and gentlemen. Deal with it. Let's go back to our stories. There we go. And here's the Chechuna official. Does the Chechuna have an actual No, that looks like it's a brand of clothing. But anyway, Yeti, we get it. So if we come back here, no, I was reading about particle physics earlier. It's totally boring. You don't want to hear about that. It's not boring, actually. I'll probably be doing a show on that. New physics has been uncovered. Not at CERN, ladies and gentlemen. No. No, 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 no. At Fermi Labs. And where's Fermi Labs? I'm pretty sure that's in Illinois. So in Illinois, they're smashing particles, they're opening portals, and we've got a Mothman flap. Just saying, just saying. So anyway, it says here stories about a huge hulking monster who lives in the wilderness have been the stuff of folklore for centuries. In the USSR too, the abominable snowman has been the subject of governmental research. This is something I find. Oh, I hope First Paranormal isn't in the chat for this. He's going to crack up if he hears me saying this. I'm not saying communism's good, folks, but one thing I have noticed about communist countries is because they really have wiped kind of God out of the equation in many cases, they really do have no problem with like sending news reporters to UFO sightings, to go in and doing studies on Bigfoot. You also go to Russia as well, and you can find these crazy looking pyramids where they do experiments like growing tomatoes inside the pyramid as opposed to outside, and the yield is like 10 times greater inside. Sometimes the science, what I'm saying is, without sounding like I truly am Kremlin Kevin pushing communism here, is that they seem to be a little more open. I know it's like it sounds totally counterintuitive, right? The communists open about something. Well, go and look at it, folks. The things you see in the skies sprayed back and forth. The Chinese, they done a documentary about that years ago. What did they say? I've got no bloody idea. I can't speak Mandarin. It wasn't translated. Point being, though, they seem to be a little bit freer with that type of information, despite the fact they've got a jackboot on your head. But hey, that's by the by, right? Please don't tell Jason. Please don't tell Jason I was saying anything like that. He'll crack up. First Paranormal sees commies everywhere. They're everywhere. You say some people see dead people. Jason sees communists. And it's okay. It's okay. So it says here, 1950s, a special commission was created by the Soviet Academy of Sciences in a bid to confirm. Not conform. Nobody makes the Yeti conform. No, folks. To confirm the Yeti's existence. It conducted expeditions, but the whole thing was shut down when it failed to obtain any reliable evidence. Or was it? Why do I struggle to believe governments when they say, there was nothing to see there, chaps. Move along, but don't be looking too long. Move along. Yeah. Do we think when they found something out about the Bigfoot? And what do you people think about the Bigfoot? I have no hard set theory on what these cryptids are, where they come from. All I can definitively nail down is that there's some kind of energy, some kind of activity that we all interpret in our own ways, be it UFOs, be it Bigfoot, be it the Mothman, be it the Chupacabra, you name it, folks, you name it. Something's going on. We can't be living in a world where these big, airy beasts have been seen forever, but for it not to be something, right? And I think there's a cave where Bigfoot are living in the mountains somewhere. I don't think they're physically from this realm. I think they're physical when we see them. Potentially, we've seen footprints being left. Something's got to leave that. And I know people will say, well, Kev, you can fake footprints. You can. I like to try and keep it logical, but at the same time, being an addict of mysteries, I like to leave it open-ended as well. And I provide, you decide. You don't come here for me to tell you what I think, or you come here to laugh at what I think, but I encourage you all to think for yourself. Just use your imagination when you're looking at stories like this. It's awesome. And it takes away some of the crap that's going on out there in the real world right now, right? So the hunt for Ivan the Terrible's library, didn't even know he'd lost it. Didn't even know he had one. Did you? Come on, admit it, folks. Don't be sitting there going, I knew they'd been looking for Ivan the Terrible's books. Maybe you did. Okay. Maybe it's just me. So legend has it that Sophia Paleologina? Paleologina. Listen, we'll call her Sophia for now, right? The daughter of the last Byzantine emperor, Constantine the 11th's brother, brought a unique collection of precious manuscripts from Rome to Russia when she married Ivan III, the Grand Prince of Moscow. The collection, hailed as the Holy Grail in the world of scientists and bookworms, is believed to contain lost and priceless ancient manuscripts, and its potential discovery would make the lucky discoverer an international celebrity even. The tireless searchers have been looking for the lost library for years, but nobody has succeeded yet, and others believe it's all just a hoax. Yet some conspiracy theories maintain that the library may still be intact, awaiting to be discovered somewhere in Moscow, in any other Russian city, or maybe even within the Kremlin, or maybe below the Kremlin, or maybe in Vladimir Putin's vault. Makes you wonder what these books are, though, doesn't it? The Holy Grail that was transferred from Rome to Russia. I wonder how much of potentially some of the material out of the Library of Alexandria turned up in that little collection. First time hearing of it, but I don't see why there would be some need for them to kind of I mean, I don't see why they would make this up. Does that make sense? That's a weird one. We might have to take a little look into that. So there's a lot of lost libraries out there, says Karen. Yeah. I'd imagine there's probably stuff that we don't even know about, eh? And then you've got these books that exchange, they change hands at like ridiculous amounts of money. There's maybe only 10 printed in the world, real rare old books. Jimmy Jeans, I think I seen him kicking about in the chat room. Look at some of the documents that he's brought to the table on the show. Now, the Colburn, we've done a couple of times. I've had Marshall Masters on the show talking about that as well. But the time me and Jimmy done it there just a few weeks ago, it really kind of re-whetted my appetite to take a look at some of these more mysterious... Yeah, the giant books as well, Malaya. Giant books. Let's have a look at that. It's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's a thing. There we go. Just some 300-year-old giant books. Now, this is crazy. Look at the state of these things, folks. Is that music? Is that the scribblings of Mozart? Wow. Yeah. This here looks like it's written in the hand of Count Dracula. It doesn't really, but it added to the woo. But anyway, interesting. So where do we think it is? I think Putin's got it. Maybe Ed Snowden's got it. Nobody can find him. Nobody can find the library. So Alexander the First's passing. If he looked like that, he was definitely having problems. He looks very jaundiced. I think he may have had kidney problems towards the end. I'm only joking. Alexander the First was the emperor who led the Russian army in the war against Napoleon. You see, Napoleon, the perfect example of a guy with small man syndrome. I suffer small man syndrome. Any man under the size of 5'7", maybe 5'8", we all suffer from small man syndrome. We've all got this really insane idea in our head that if we can go out and about fighting bigger people, it's going to add a couple extra inches onto our height. I found out the hard way it doesn't work. In fact, many times when you get a big club on the head, it probably takes an inch off you. Just deal with it, folks. Being small is cool. You can get in and out of places that big people can't. That's all I'm saying. I think even my son's laughing at that one. I know I'm on a winner when Kevin laughs at one of his dad's jokes. Come on, if you're a parent out there, how many times does your 19-year-old son or daughter laugh at your own jokes? You feel me? It's like a victory in itself. The stream has now been worth it. 61 skulls in here today. I would doff my cap, but I'm still suffering from lockdown head. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Although it's not quite like my son's massive kind of, oh, I don't know what he's growing on there. It's that mushroom top. I'm waiting for a shoe coming in the background. During his reign, Russia crushed the French Empire and firmly established itself as one of the leading powers, with its troops occupying Gay Paris. I remember the Russians, they came in and they were all the Red Army, they were down the Champs-Élysées and up the Eiffel Tower and eating snails and... Yeah, there you go. So, Anne says too far, so time to stop. Was I getting a boot rather than a shoe? Oh, I was about to get Kevin's big, humongous size 99 Jordan boot in the head. What did they say about big feet, girls? What did they say? Big shoes. So anyway, yet something felt about the death. What? Does that make sense? Hang on. I missed out a whole paragraph. There we go. At the peak of his success, the sudden passing of the 47-year-old healthy emperor from typhoid fever. Okay, so it wasn't jaundice, it was typhoid he had. Yeah, bloody trick me with a fake picture there. Photoshopped. I'm claiming that is photoshopped, ladies and gents. Anne's just given up on me in the background. I'm hearing big sighing. I've lost 3 people since I've started doing this story. Hang on, here we go. So it says the emperor passed on November 1825 in the city of Taganrog, about 600 miles south of Moscow. It's a lovely place there. They sell the most exquisite caviar. Yes, they do. Hypothetically, because I've never been to Russia, remember? Well, some people say I have. Yet something fell off about his passing. Alexander's body was in a closed coffin. Oh boy, that's already going. That's going to cause questions, and almost no one saw his face. Those who did said the deceased didn't look like the emperor. Oh, did he fake his own passing? Had he had enough? Did he just want to go and chill out down in the French Riviera with some snails and the kind of things that you do in France? Did he? Did he get one of his body doubles that quite obviously didn't look enough like him to have an open coffin there? I wonder what was going on. What was all going on at the time? What was the need? Was there a need for him to fake his own passing? So as Alexander became a strong... Probably this is going to answer it, isn't it? As Alexander became a stronger Orthodox Christian believer later in life and spent his days in prayer, letting his ministers run Russia, rumours about his alleged secret abdication and escape for a solitary life under a fake identity of a monk spread fast. People even pinpointed a particular monk who might have been the emperor. Wow. So we've got a few more to go, folks. I'm going to get a little drink of coffee, a little drink of tea. I'm lying. I don't have coffee here. I've got a pot of tea. And then we will get back into the last of the Russian X-Files. I'm going to chill out with you good people in the chat room as well. We may even dive deeper into one of these stories. We'll see how it goes. There we go. We've got some tunes on now. We're good to go. I'll be back in just a moment, ladies and gents. Don't go anywhere. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Now then, my good friend Nano Girl has checked in. She is delighted to see me live today. And I don't know if she heard yesterday's show, but I've just told her about how after the show we done on Monday, whoa boy, oh boy, it was a bad and it was touch and go if I was going to tell Aunt to phone a doctor or not. But I couldn't, right? Because when I took ill the first time, it was after speaking to Nano Girl. So I couldn't have done that to her again. And she's just come back and said, oh my Lord, I would have died. I know exactly, Nano. And Anne's sitting laughing in the background because she knows how close it was. I was looking as bad as I was, almost as bad as I was when I took the heart attack. But this was all COPD related. Touch wood, Nano, touch wood. It was all... I tell you, maybe Nano, maybe you were the one that actually kept me out of hospital. Because in the back of my mind, I could not do that to you. I know you felt awful for no reason when it all happened the first time. I would have felt awful if the boot had been on the other foot. So for me to have maybe put you through that again, I couldn't. Even if it meant I'd keeled over in the house, as long as I didn't put you through that again, Nano, I swear. Knocking on wood, exactly. You're not bad luck, Nano. You're not bad luck. I think you just get me too excited. We have too much fun, and then when I come off the show, it's like the adrenaline just whacks me. That's what it is. But no, we're here. We're good. Nobody wants to hear about my health problems. So we will get back into the Orlova ghost ship. Never heard of this. Never, ever heard of this. Any of you people out there? 64 people on the stream today. That delights me. That's awesome, folks. I took a few days off. We lost a few people, but it's good to see the numbers going back up again. People will be thinking, why is he happy at only 64? So I'd rather have 64 than 6,400. This way, I can speak to y'all. It's just like chilling out with friends. It really, really is. So let's get into the Orlova ghost ship. It says cruise liner Lyubov Orlova navigated the seas from 1976, hey, 76ers, until 1999, when its owning company went bankrupt. Now, it was supposed to be transported to the Dominican Republic to be turned into scrap, but the ship was lost in the sea when the cables burst during a storm. Now, the ship then disappeared. 4 tons of steel with no lights and electronic systems spooked other sailors who were in danger of clashing with the giant in the dark of night. The Orlova has since been lost forever, and rumours of giant cannibal rats on board continue. What? Giant cannibal rats? Wow. Okay then. Whether it sank or is still drifting somewhere in the ocean, the ship has been subject of fascination ever since. Folks, who has heard of this before? The Orlova ghost ship with human-eating rats. It's like things the size of Splinter. Remember Splinter out the Teenage Mutant Ninja rat ship turtles? Splinter's on the ship. But listen, you got to look. This isn't woo when you're taking on rodents the size of men. Let me tell you, this takes things to a whole new level. I'm kind of scared of rats when they come in their ordinary size, shape, and form. Mutant Russian cannibal rats? What kind of experiments were they doing over there, for goodness sake? Number 9. Psychic soldiers with superpowers. The men that stare at goats. That'd be the German ones. You see, this is why I don't try and do my Russian accent. It always ends up sounding German. And then by the end of it, bloody sounds French, so I don't bother. Psychic soldiers with superpowerovskis. There you go. If you just add an ovski to the end, it sounds kind of Russian, right? Psychovski soldier skis with superpower skis. Well, that sounds like a fast skier. Anyhow, since the 1980s, the Russian military has been developing the technique of meta-contact, non-verbal interrogation, and reading minds. Or was it? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. One military tries this, they all try it. You wouldn't not try it for fear of your enemies being able to harness something that they can use against you. That's why you would find they've all been at it. I'd imagine you come over here to the UK, Porting down. They've probably been at it there as well. Germany, France, although most people in France are already screwed up in the head. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Any French people out there, I only merely use you as a comedy shtick. So, the audacious claim has appeared. Somebody's never heard of small man syndrome? Oh, no, there's small man syndrome. We've all got a chip on our shoulder. But we all try to make up for our vertically challengedness, if that's even a grammatically correct phrase. I don't know. But I think the chat room will tell you. I think the chat room will tell you this is a real phenomenon. It might not appear in any psychology textbooks or any like real science, but Kev pseudoscience? Definitely. Wee man syndrome's a thing. Definitely. Many people say Napoleon suffered from wee man syndrome or little man syndrome. So it says here, the audacious claim has appeared in an article in the Army Ski. See, just add a ski on the end, it'll sound Russian. I was right. Army Ski Sbornik. All right. Anne's about to take off her Velcro attached boot, or she's about to put it on, one of the two, and it might make a noise, folks. So if you hear any like that in the background, you know it's not me coming apart at the seams, okay? It says that the Army Ski Sbornik, the Army Digest, is the Russian Defense Ministry's official magazine. Now, although some thought the article was a hoax, many believe that Soviet scientists conducted experiments in the field of parapsychology to try and uncover phenomenal human powers. We had the men that stare at goats, that whole shenanigans, remember that? I think it was Mark Ronson wrote that book. But that was based loosely on what they were doing. Number 10. The Well to Hell. Oh, wow. Save the best to last, right? During the Soviet times, legend has it that a team of researchers and surveyors reportedly went to Siberia to test the ground for oil and other natural resources. They drilled a hole in the ground, and that should be a HOLE, not hole as in the hole. It's for somebody that can't pronounce words. I'm really kind of, I really shouldn't be complaining at the odd typo here and there. They drilled a hole, not the hole, in the ground, and were shocked to see meters for depths and pressure give absurd readings. The temperature radiating out of the hole tested up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists also heard low, muffled noises coming from the hole itself. Probably sounded nothing like that, right? They lowered a microphone down the hole, and an erratic noise flattened out into a low moan. And the microphone started picking up screams that were unmistakably human. What the hell are we looking at here? The Well to Hell. Scientists also heard low, muffled voices coming from the hole itself. And they lowered a microphone down into the hole, and an erratic noise flattened out into a low moan that the microphones started picking up. Screams that were unmistakably human. Now, hang on. Ice falling down ice hole. Right, let's take a listen to this. Could this be what they heard? There's absolutely nothing there that can be mistaken for human screams, right? Nothing. So we've still got a couple more to go, I think. And I'm going to get a quick drink of tea. I need to see Anne and Kevin before they go and do something anyway. And then, ladies and gents, and then we will be back and we will conclude the Russian X-Files. And I'll see what you people in the chat room have got to say about this. Bartholomeus. A big hello to you as well, Bartholomeus. There you go. Don't panic, folks. Don't panic. I've not forgot about you. I'll be back in a moment. Have a drink of tea. Have a PPP. And I will be back with some final X-Files. Okay, okay, I'm here, folks. I'm here. Don't panic. Don't panic. Just dealing with something in the background right now. I know, unprofessional. I know, but I'll be back in 30 seconds. There we go, folks. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Bill had messaged me. Bill Bean had messaged me in the background there. Because we were having connection problems on Skype, we're looking to get in the Zoom package. And we were just talking about whether we should try something else. But I don't know. I'm telling you this. It's like not interesting. Anywho, let's go back to what we were talking about. So, number 11, the Dashka stone. Okay, so who's heard of the Dashka stone before we go anywhere? No naysay, no naysay. It's PPP-less. I'm insisting everyone is PPP-less today. No, I'm only joking, bro. It's good to see you, naysay. It's good to see you. Yes, indeedy. So we're nearly coming to the end of this. I've got half an hour before I go and get Mr. Jimmy Jeans. Yes, Lewis, Zoom is far better, far superior. We've also got 4 or 5 new. People are gonna laugh at this. We've also got 4 or 5 new Russian communications platforms coming out to rival Skype and Zoom. Hey, listen, somebody's going to be listening to us in the end of the day, so it's as well going to the Kremlin as it is going to Langley, right? Or going to GCHQ. They all listen in, folks. Privacy is deader than the dodo. But if we come here, nope. Cine Monk, I haven't heard of this one either. Lewis, nope. This is a new one on me. Let's take a look at the Dashka stone. Now, I've heard of the Dropa stones. That's the circular, like CDs, albeit they're made in stone. But it says a mysterious stone was discovered in the South Urals in 1999. Now, it appeared to be a detailed 3D map of the Urals region and could only have been done using aerial or satellite surveys. Canals, dams, and dikes coincided with the actual terrain and were marked on the map together with inscriptions in an unknown language. The origin of the mysterious map remains unknown. Now, I need to see this. I need to see what this looks like. Brilliant website. Brilliant website. Ancient Origins. Look at this thing. Okay, okay. So this is a ancient language. The controversial Dashka stone, a 120 million year old map. What? Okay, now let's take things to a new level. Now, let me just remind people out there, you may not be aware, but if you want to be an even bigger part of this unprofessional amateur hour craziness that I provide on a near daily basis, you can become a member of the channel. All you got to do is click that crazy, crazy join button down below, and you too can have the Mothman, the Safe Space, the PPP, the Unicorn, the Shoe, the Blue Chicken, the Octopus, the UFO, the Eyeball, the Nessie, and the Koala. Don't know what I'm talking about? There it is in the chat room, folks. Anywho, with that said, let me go back to this here. The Dashka stone is a controversial artifact that is believed by some to be the guidelines used by the architect of the world. Okay, okay. Whoa, wait a minute. The Dashka stone is a controversial artifact that is believed by some to be the guidelines used by the architect of the world. Known as the Map of the Creator, the stone tablet has baffled researchers since its discovery in 1999. As possible or as impossible as it may seem, Russian experts believe that the stone map could be 120 million years old. That's an old map. Oh, my tea's gone cold. Can you believe it? Nothing worse than cold tea. Well, no tea is better than cold. Yeah, no tea is better than cold tea, actually. The Dashka slab depicts not only the environs of the Ural Mountains, but also a series of civil engineering projects, including 7,457 miles of channels, several dams, and hieroglyphic notations of an unknown origin. The accuracy and perspective of the map suggest that it was created from an aerial point of observation, and the hieroglyphs have not, as of the time of writing, been deciphered, but are thought to be related to an ancient form of Chinese. Now, this came out on August the 4th, 2020. It says archaeologists from the Bashkir State University discovered the Dashka stone in the Ural Mountains of eastern Russia on July 21st, 1999. The discoverers were immediately struck by the size of the tablet. It measured 58 inches, which is nearly 1.5 meters, folks. It's 42 inches wide, which is just over a meter, and 6 inches thick, and weighs 1 ton. Now, upon further investigation, the researchers were even more stunned. The tablet appears to show a highly accurate topographical map of Bashkiria, a specific area of the Ural Mountains, at a scale of approximately 1:1. Now, Alexander Chovyarov, a professor at the Bashkir State University who led the team, named the Dashka stone in honor of his granddaughter, who was born on that day. I hadn't heard of this one, folks. This is a new one on me. Totally new one. How on earth's name? What hieroglyphs? What are we talking about here? This is weird, right? Is it just me that's finding this a bit weird? Alright, so we see this here. It's got that there. Are they saying that's that? Hmm. Bizarre. Anywho. Hey, now somebody's coming in with a little cheeky sticker, I think. I think it should come up in a little second here. If it doesn't, folks, don't you worry. I will take care of that. In fact, I'm going to play that for you in just a moment. Give me 2 seconds here, folks. Need to get the alert box on the screen. There we go. I've also got one to play from yesterday as well. that we got right at the end of the show. So I want to play that one first, and that was Moron. He came in just as we were finishing the stream. He said he didn't want any credit for it, but I like to give credit where it's due. I want to thank Ron for everything he does for me and the show. So there you go, folks. Moron.
PPP, victory hand.
There we go. The old victory hand is there. And now we've just had 108 with a sticker. Thank you very, very, very much indeed. Totally. Wow. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Anywho, if we get back to this now, this is gonna get more rigorous investigation, folks. I'm telling you. I don't think maybe the Dyatlov Pass is the only one where I'm thinking, okay, I don't need to do further research, but all of these ones are new to me. The Sablino Caves. Heard of them? New to me as well. Sablino is an underground labyrinth located near St. Petersburg, stretching dozens of kilometers. The caves are man-made. Some believe the passages resulted from underground work to produce quartz, yet others claim the military made it. In any case, the kilometers-long network of mines and shafts is abandoned today. Yet it attracts a lot of adventure seekers who believe the caves are a space-time anomaly. Numerous cases of disappearances in the Sablion caves have been reported. People might have gotten lost or been sucked down into the gooey mess or gooey mass. Or maybe, just maybe, these disappearances are even more sinister than that. Maybe, just maybe. Well, listen, folks, I don't know about yous, but click here for the 3 most beguiling Soviet-era mysteries. Do I want to click it? Do I want to, at this time of day? Okay, let's click it. They tempted me in. We're not going to get into these deeply, but what's it say here? Why did Soviet agents arrest the Swedish humanitarian who saved thousands of Jews during World War II? How did the NKVD's disgraced director face his last days? And was there a connection between the Soviet secret services and the legendary city of Shambhala? These questions remain unanswered, even though the USSR ceased to exist more than 25 years ago. So I want to find more about Shambhala. Where was that? Here we go. I'm gonna, okay, so if we come up here. Okay, unlike the real bad guys' secret services, which had several units dealing exclusively with paranormal activities, the Annenurbe, the Soviet intelligence was predominantly skeptical about mysticism. Believing in the supernatural was considered senseless and worst, anti-Marxist. Now, on the other hand, there were some exceptions. One of them was Gleb Boki, an agent of the Cheka OGPU, and these are different names for the same Soviet secret police from 1921 through 1934. Not only was Boki a founder of the Soviet concentration camp system, he was also interested in paranormal activities and communicated with mystics within the special OGPU department that he headed. Now, together with occultist Alexander Barchenko, Boki even tried to organize a Soviet expedition to Tibet in search of the legendary country Shambhala. However, the government declared such an expedition was a waste of time and money, and the project was cancelled. Both Boki and Barchenko were executed in the Great Purge of the late 1930s, and since that time, the NKVD, the KGB, and other Soviet secret services deny any involvement in the paranormal. However, in Russia, just like elsewhere, those who believe in the supernatural are sure that there are closed archives filled with information on aliens, ancient mysteries, and other signs of supernatural life. I can't quite remember who suggested that we take a look at some Russian X-Files yesterday, but you'll know who you are. I want to thank you. I really want to thank you genuinely, because I can think of at least 6 things in that 11 or 12 stories that we looked at I was totally unaware of. And that means we've got more things that we can do deeper dives on. We can do longer streams, maybe at the weekend. I've got a member stream. I have to make it up to the members. I took Sunday off, just everything. With Anne's foot, my health, everything. It all conspired. It all conspired against the Sunday member stream. Was going to do it on Easter Monday. Didn't get round to it. So that's one I owe you members out there. Big one I owe you members. But I think when we're doing these kind of things as well, I think maybe even if we just come in at the weekend and we'll put on member chat for a while maybe. I want to dive deeper into these Russian X-Files. Maybe this is what we should do. Maybe we should go to Italy. Maybe we should go around countries where we've never really looked in depth at a lot of the kind of localized woo that's going on in these places. Now, why did I pick Italy? I don't know, but I did. I'm going to write it down. Italian X-Files. Hey, they've got a good-looking version of the Bigfoot, don't they? Good-looking buggers, the Italians. Italian X-Files. And I bet you their Bigfoot can play football. I bet you can. I bet he'd be like a cracking defender. A big Italian Sasquatch defender. Imagine it, playing for Inter Milan. I can see it now. No wonder my son's laughing behind me. He thinks I'm mad. Do any of you think I'm mad? Oh, 66 in the chat room. Either drag somebody in or leave now. We've got 6-6. Oh, anywho, folks, anywho. As much as I'm having absolutely brilliant fun here today, I have got work to do. I know. But this has warmed me up nicely, and I hope it's got you in the mood as well. For Jimmy Jeans coming on to the main show today. Regla, how you doing? Connie, we've got in there. You keep threatening to do a weekend stream. Well, Jimmy, you will find I always do a weekend stream for the members apart from this weekend. If you're not a member, well, that'll explain why you've not been there, you see. And I have done my After Dark one Saturday before. So listen, the threats sometimes materialise. They sometimes become a reality. And I'm hoping after the crap weekend we had this weekend, we can make up for it this weekend coming. And I can't believe we're almost on Thursday already. And since we're almost on Thursday, it's my time to remind you that Jimmy Jeans is tonight, but tomorrow on the Kev Baker Show, which will be Friday morning over in Australia at the very ungodly early hour of 7 a.m, I'm going to be joined by Evan and Stephen Strong, and we are going to be getting back into our forgotten origins and our alien ancestry. I really, really hope you can join me in 13 minutes for today's show, and I really, really hope you can be there for tomorrow's show. I'll be here before the main show tomorrow to warm you all up with some archaeological ancient woo from down under, and then we'll get the guys, the main team covering all of this, Stephen and Evan Strong. They're going to come onto the show and they are going to blow our minds again. That I am confident of. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I really do hate to leave you all, but work to be done, and I can tell you Jimmy Jeans has got some good stuff lined up for us in the background today. You ladies are going to love it, I'm told. But until next time, keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo.